Hello, this is Puppet Headquarters Lock-In. I'm Bob, and today's topic is foundations. Now, you might be asking, what is a foundation? The answer to that is simple. A foundation is the base or bottom of something which stops it from falling. So, what do foundations have to do with the Bible? Well, that's what we're going to find out on today's episode of Puppet HQ Lock-In.
Bob, Alex, Maria, and Steve. The show is so funny that you won't want to leave.
Hi, Fuller.
Puppet HQ Lock-In.
Hello, welcome back to Puppet Headquarters Lock-In.
As Bob told you at the beginning of the show, our topic is foundations. Alice, do you know where my makeup bag went? I need to put on some foundation. No, sorry, Maria, but now I'm sure all of our audience is confused. Maria is talking about a different kind of foundation than Bob was talking about. She is talking about makeup.
Yeah, there are lots of types of foundation,
No, Steve.
like the foundation of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Bread! Steve, that's the same thing I was talking about. And there's also that company type of foundation that none of us could really understand, so we left it out of the script. Well, that's not necessarily true. You see, we thought that it might be complicated for the kids.
No, the reason we didn't include any of those foundations is because we thought it might get confusing. And I'm sure now everyone is confused. Let me clarify. The type of foundation we are talking about on today's show is the base or bottom of something that keeps it from collapsing. For example, the bottom of a building is its foundation, or yes, the bread on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense now.
So, now that that's cleared up, we need to get started with the skit, and I need to find my makeup bag. So we'll be back right after this. And now, the parable of the wise and foolish builders. Once upon a time, there was a wise man. He decided to build a house.
Where would be the best place to build my house? Let me just check the Building Better Buildings guidebook. It has all the principles we need for success.
There was also a very foolish man who decided to build a house.
I should build my house on the beach.
So Mr. Foolish went to convince Mr. Wise that he should build his house on the beach too.
My dear Mr. Wise, you should build your house on the beach. It's the ideal spot for fun. And there's a giant pool on your front doorstep. Now please, I beg you, live up to your name and build on the beach. Oh, Mr. Foolish, you certainly live up to your name. Building on the beach may seem like wisdom to you, but without a firm foundation, your house will collapse. Now do not make such a foolish decision. Instead, build on the rock. Way up there. Do you know how many steps I would have to put in to get to the beach? No way, man. That is way too much trouble. And walking. But the Building Better Buildings guidebook says I don't have time or patience to go through all those guidelines. Plus, can't you see how great it would be to just build on the beach? Maybe I could surf off my back deck. Oh, yeah, that's an idea. Or a water slide. There are very important guidelines you need to follow in order to have a house that lasts.
But Mr. Foolish would not listen, and he went ahead and built his house on the beach. How could he be so foolish?
Because his name is Mr. Foolish?
Well, yes, I suppose it is. Anyway, suddenly there was a big storm.
Uh-oh.
Then the rain came down on the wise man's house, and the winds blew, but it did not move.
Wahoo!
Then the storm moved on to Mr. Foolish's house. The rains came down, and the winds blew, and the house fell...
Splat! Oh, sorry, but I couldn't wait. It's my favorite part. Splat, 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 splat.
And now, the words of Jesus, the story from the Bible.
Therefore, everyone who hears these words and puts them into practice is like a wise man who builds his house on the rock. The rain came down and the streams rose and the winds blew and beat against the house. Yet it did not fall because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like the foolish man who built his house on the sand. The rains came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash.
Splat! So as I said at the beginning of the show, there's a connection between the Bible and foundations. That connection is Jesus. You see, Jesus is our rock, our foundation. So if we trust in him, we'll stand firm.
So put your trust in Jesus, because he will never leave you or abandon you.
If you want to read the parable of the wise and foolish man, turn in your Bibles to Matthew chapter 7, verses 24 to 29.
We'll see you next time on Puppet HQ Lock-In.